It's exactly what they need, the women now, to up the scoring rate. 9 wickets in hand.
There is the use of the feet. It's dragged away into the leg side and it just clears the boundary.
Sindhu, Sriharsha. I play for the USA national team. I'm the captain of the USA national senior team. I'm a back. 8 weeks, I was already back in the gym, trying to regain my strength that I had lost. Probably the first day in the gym, I remember I had like tears in my eyes when I was trying to be on the treadmill, and I'm like, I can't run. It takes a little bit of time, and anybody who's gone through that will realize, but I just felt like I lost the ability to run, and I won't be able to run ever in my life again. I mean, it's just the emotions too, but I realized that I was starting to learn everything again from scratch. So it was a slow progress in the beginning, but eventually, I think when I was 12 or 13 weeks from the delivery was when I first went for the trials. So I went for the USA trials, so about 12 and 13 weeks after delivery. Yeah. Just being a mother doesn't define who you are, and always kind of find other passions in your life. Do not forget yourself in the whole process of being a mother. It's very important that you keep yourself known and keep your identity. People know you as who you are by your name, Sindhu. They do not see me as a Sindhu, with the parenthesis mother. They see me as Sindhu Sriharsha. They don't see me as a Sindhu mother. So I just always tell people to keep your identity. Make sure that you're always following what you want to give your passion. Your kids are going to see it. Your children are going to see who you are and going to follow yourself. And he or she is going to do the same thing to their family when they grow up. So I think it's very important to have those values. Well, I think the easiest was to be on the field. When on the field, it definitely took away a lot of pressure. Like, I knew when I got onto the field, I was just wearing the hat of a cricketer, a leader, or a batter. If I was batting, I was keeping as a keeper. So it's easier when you're on the field. But it's definitely a little difficult when it's off the field, because your emotions run a little bit differently off the field. You have a lot more time to think about when you're off the field. And also knowing that at that particular time I was still nursing my son, and he wasn't with me because I prefer traveling without my kid. So I just felt like, at that time the emotions were pretty high, but my husband back home always, reassured me kind of that this is what we wanted to show our kid, that, you had a mother who was passionate about something. It could be cricket, it could be sports, it could be anything that she was passionate about, and she was fully going for it, and we were all there to support her. So that's something my husband was always sure that we wanted to show him, that this is how it's going to be in our.
My name is Akshata Rao. I used to play on the USA Women's National Team. I've retired now, so I really miss playing cricket big time. But the way I kind of scratch that itch is really coaching a lot of younger players, helping them understand the joys of cricket, and hopefully we'll have a lot more cricket in this country going forward. So I've been playing for the last 10 years. Don't longer play. I'm retired now, so I played from 2011 to 2021, and I'm on the team as a right arm off spin bowler. It's actually a very interesting story. I know a lot of people on the team, they started playing from a very young age, but I started playing after I got married. And we had this event at my workplace where they were playing a tennis ball tournament. And they had this rule that there had to be at least 2 girls on any team with boys, just to kind of encourage participation from women. And then when I got on there, that's when I started, a lot of girls were bowling underarm, but then I actually started bowling like a regular bowler, and people were very impressed. So that really got me to take up cricket as the leather ball cricket, and start playing that professionally, because there was just a lot of joy where both my husband and I, we could go to practices together, we would watch games together, we would talk about it. It was actually really funny because we had a little driveway in our house back home in India, and the two of us, even after we were married, we would keep playing cricket in the driveway. So that was really fun. That got me into playing cricket and taking it as a serious professional sport. I think my family, my relatives, they're very supportive. Like I come from a family where we all play sport. Like I used to swim for India prior to like playing cricket. My mom is an really active sportswoman. She would play volleyball. My grandmom was a sportswoman. So there's like a lot of encouragement. At least for me to like continue to play sports, my parents never believed that you always had to study and then you had to be a certain type of person. They really wanted me to explore different areas I could excel in. And so my parents were thrilled. My mom was super proud. Like she would go on talk about me playing cricket for USA to anyone she would find. A little bit embarrassing, but I noticed that she was proud. My in-laws were proud, like very supportive. I've been very fortunate in that regard. They would always kind of like share stuff about me playing, me traveling to all of the relatives they would meet. So very cool and supportive family for sure. I think being pregnant and playing or having kids and playing, it's not a very common thing you hear about. You hear about a lot of men who are like fit, they have a very strong work ethic, and they could have a family and just go back to playing cricket. For me though, I think it was a discovery and like a passage that I had to go through and learn stuff as I go. What I remember was like the strong drive to continue to play cricket, but I also remember having a lot of doubts about, should I still be going back and playing cricket? Can I do this? Am I good enough? Will I be as good as what I was before? There was a lot of doubt and passion that I had to like juggle throughout. But then I think once I established that I want to continue playing cricket, I think at that point it was just about trying to prioritize cricket with everything else that's going on in a day. What that meant was like while you were doing all of these amazing things, it also comes with like a lot of guilt. Like you're leaving your kids in the house, you're traveling for like months together without like seeing your kids, you're like FaceTiming and you're constantly kind of doubting if you're making the right choices. The benefit of that is when you're out there playing for your country, you've left your kids, you realize you've sacrificed so much, and that pushes you to perform so much better and then just give it all for your team. And you want your kids to be proud of you. And that was the whole feeling throughout. A lot of doubt, a lot of discovery, but then kind of like quickly turned it around with like, I can actually do this. I want my kids to be proud of me, and just really give it all when you're out there. It's changing a little bit now, but I think the biggest difference is like, I don't think a lot of people would come in to watch women's sport. It wasn't very televised before. Like we were just watching the India-Australia women's game downstairs, and there was actually like, a good crowd. Like the stadium was completely full. And that was not the case like when we were playing like 10 years ago. I've been playing, like we would play with like an empty stadium and it didn't matter. But like with men's cricket, like there's a crowd and there's like a lot of hype around it, and there's a lot of, you build a persona from like players like Virat Kohli or like Steve Smith or whoever. Like they have like a strong marketing engine that kind of goes behind all of that, and that's not there for women's cricket in general. I would say that's changing quite a bit, and it's important to televise like women's sport because we want younger kids to watch them and then have women role models they want to grow up with. Like I didn't have a woman role model for the longest of time, but now I'm like, I know who I like and I know who I want to play with, and that is so cool. So that's I would say like one of the biggest difference outside of everything else. Yeah. What I'm doing right now is coaching a lot of 5 to 10-year-olds. So these are the kids who are picking up the bat for the very first time. Their ambitions are not like, oh, I want to play cricket for USA. So I think the biggest thing that I feel like I'm doing is really focusing on the fun of the game. This is where it gets really complex. I think a lot of coaches feel like I want to have players who are like playing at on the national team, representing sort of your state, who are like really going to make me proud. But I think the way I want to approach this is to have kids understand the fun of the game, but also at the same time understand like the rules of the game, the technique, what's going to help them. And then if kids are really passionate about like learning the game forward, that's where I will invest them and try to teach them, okay, now you understand the fun of the game. These are the things that matter at the next level. But also it's very important to keep it very simple. God, I have broken, I can't count, but I'll tell you all the bones I've broken. At least a few fingers. I've broken my shoulder. I've broken my rib. I've broken my nose. Like, you won't even believe it. And then it's actually funny because I feel like I had a crooked nose before, and then I got a better nose after I broke it, so hilarious. And then I've broken my wrist, and I've broken my forearm. Yeah, I think that's about it. Only that much. And I've still played, so you know, if this doesn't show I love this game, I don't know what else. You know, Mama loves you, right? When you grow up, can you remember that you already played cricket for USA? Because you were in Mama's tummy when you were playing cricket. Are you gonna play cricket when you grow up? Okay, Raina, listen to me. When you grow up and play cricket, I just want you to give your best, okay? You're yawning. Okay, and then not worry about what anyone has to say. I just want you to be happy and play cricket because you love the game. Okay?
Okay.
I love you.
Really?
Okay, you want your cheese now?
Yes.
Okay.